Hello everyone, this is Ebin and welcome to the Pit Lane Chronicles. This weekend we had the magnificent Japanese Grand Prix and this video is a short review regarding that. Now according to me, this race was a good 8 out of 10. Now you can say, yeah, Ebin bhai, come on, this race wasn't entertaining and yeah, we didn't see much of many duels or dogfights. But then I would say this race was more about executing certain team strategies, which we will be discussing later on in the video. Now, coming to the first lap of the race, just when we thought that all the drivers have escaped the first turn juju of the Suzuka track, then comes the first left-hander of the S-curve, where Ricciardo and Albon had this incident. Now, Albon was on the right and went and seemingly unnoticed by Ricciardo, who was on the left and was focusing more on the left-hand side of the track. And both of them touched and yeah, they went out on the gravel and got DNF'd. Personally, I would consider this incident as a very unfortunate incident for both of them, and it's a racing incident. Now coming to the Red Bulls. Now Max and Perez, from the very start itself, they never looked under threat from any of the Ferrari or the McLaren drivers. And this entire result actually personified the RB efficiency of the past 3 years. Now, Ferrari had a great race, okay, even though it wasn't a 1-2 finish like in the Australian GP. But then, when you consider the strategy that was used for Leclerc, you start to wonder where was the strategy and planning during the 22 season when Ferrari apparently was the best car on the track. Now, Sainz had a solid race. He started 4th, finished 3rd. Now, Charles Leclerc, even though he had a very poor quali on Saturday and started just 8th, he finished off well at 4th, even though it felt they stretched too long on the mediums for Leclerc. Hards was the go-to tire for the front runners, barring Alonso, who was on softs. Now, Mercedes started 7th and 9th and finished 7th and 9th. Now, Toto Wolff was asked post-race whether the team had made any sort of progress or what did you see in the team's performance, to which he answered, yes, we have made certain progress, but buddy, where is the progress? Both your drivers started at 7th and 9th and finished at 7th and 9th. I mean, come on. Hamilton on the team radio asking whether he should let George go. Now, that was really uncharacteristic from a racing driver at a 7-time world champion. Now, talking about the second Mercedes driver, George Russell managed to hold his own somehow and squeezed for a 7th when I thought that Piastri would eventually manage with his older tires. Now, let's be honest, it would have been unfair to Russell if Piastri had managed that 7th, because Piastri should have given up that position after cutting that chicane when Russell was right beside him. Coming to my lovelies, McLaren, who had a strategic mess of a race. Lando Norris started 3rd on the grid and was asked to pit again for hards on the 27th lap, which meant just 13 laps of hard tires and again a new set of hards. And on the comms, it was mentioned the pitting again to protect him against Russell. What? Russell started 7th and McLaren got it wrong thinking Mercedes were the opposition this race week. But it should have been the Ferrari on whom they should have had the focus on. Last but not the least, I received a bit of flack from a friend of mine for saying in the preview video that this could be the last home race for Tsunoda. And guess what? He survives for another race, because his teammate ended up in the barriers. Now, kudos to him, great race. And not to forget that group pit stop that 5 cars made together with Tsunoda coming out in front. RB pit stop heritage. Now, the funniest incident in the entire race has to be Lance Stroll complaining in the second last lap for the straight line speed. Mate, you are driving at Suzuka, not at Monza, where 80% of your track would be straight lines. So that was the Japanese Grand Prix review from my end. Let me know in the comments what you think about the video and some certain events that I might have missed. Till then, like, share and subscribe and see you all in the next video. Ciao.